what is your relationship with Josh Rosen?
It's good. I had an opportunity to get to know him after his freshman year there at UCLA. I watched him throw that same summer. I came away watching him, Rich, and I said, this guy's as natural of a guy throwing the football as anyone I've been around. And that hasn't changed, in my opinion. I think he's terrific. I think durability is a concern. I think when you have more of the concussions, he had the shoulder injury, but when you've had head injuries in college coming into the NFL, where the hits, I can tell you, are a lot tougher, that is a concern. But also along with that is he coachable? And I think if you eliminated those things, and maybe durability being the biggest one if you were able to eliminate, I think he's hands down the best passer in this league. And for those that would say, well, he's not real mobile, well, Peyton Manning wasn't real mobile either, and my guess is if Peyton Manning were in this draft, he'd still go number one. And I think just on pure ability to throw the football and most pro-ready, I think Rosen's the best in the bunch.
And you obviously have some Oklahoma roots as well before UCLA.
Yeah.
What's your sense on Baker Mayfield and
his ability? I like him a lot. I will say that watching him in college, I got real worn out just every time the camera was on him that he was talking or yelling at some opponent or whatever it was. And then I really studied him on tape, and the guy can really play. He's the most productive of the group. He's accurate with the football. He's got plenty of arm strength. And I believe that he is, I think he has the skills that translate to the NFL. The height, I know, is a concern, and I know you can't point to many people, many quarterbacks under 6'1" that have had success, but I have always felt this when Doug Flutie was coming out in the NFL draft. I thought height at the time was overrated. I've continued to think that. And even at 6'4", there were times I couldn't see receivers because of the offensive linemen that were in front of me, and it's about throwing through windows, and he's been able to do that, and he's been highly successful doing it. I think he and Rosen are the two guys of the guys I've seen are the only two that I think can step into a pro team and play on week one.
Troy Aikman here on the Rich Eisen Show. What about Josh Allen, the questions of his accuracy, knowing as you do about the transition from one level to the other and obviously losing before you can win? Troy, what can you tell me about Josh Allen's accuracy issues that might give you pause?
Well, let me first preface the answer by saying with Sam Darnold, he's had problems protecting the football. And I believe that with tough coaching and good coaching, you can coach a lot of that out of a quarterback. I believe when it comes to accuracy, yeah, I know they've worked on tightening up his throwing motion and his stride and some of the things, his mechanics, and some of the things that maybe lead to some inaccuracies. But in my experience in watching quarterbacks, you can either put the ball where you want to put it or you can't. And some of the throws that he missed, some of them were intermediate throws, I would say that he didn't have very good protection and he didn't have really good receivers. So sometimes it's on the receiver not being where he's supposed to be or not making the catch. I saw a number of drops. But when you start missing little flare throws and flat routes and swing routes and checkdowns, when you're airmailing those guys on those throws, that's when I really became alerted. And I don't know that will change. He's been a 56% passer throughout his career. And I don't envision that being a whole lot different at the next level.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.